Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Recall, last month, July 19th, 201st day of the leap year, massive tech outages across the world because Microsoft had an update to their software by CrowdStrike that supposedly triggered the problem. We talked that day about how perfectly connected it was to Bill Gates, Mr. Seattle. And with that said, look at what just happened. A cyber attack on Seattle-Tacoma International Airport reportedly this past Saturday, August 24th, that still has their systems messed up. Let's go over all of the familiar details. So, August 24th, notice that's the day leaving 129 days left in the year. 129 is the number 201 in base 8 counting, just like how the cyber attack, or I guess it wasn't a cyber attack, but it had the same impact. The glitch was on the 201st day of the year. As we know, Bill Gates' full name, William Henry Gates, has a gematria value of 201, like Order of Illuminati, like the Jesuit Order, like how he was the co-host of Event 201, the pandemic simulation, 1 month before the outbreak in Wuhan. A few months before the first case outside of China was found in his backyard, Seattle, home of the world's biggest needle. With regards to the Illuminati piece, the Illuminati is 248 years old, established May 1st, 1776, just before the American Revolution. Of course, the country is also 248 years old, so think about the date August 24th, written 24/8, like 248 in the majority of the world. The other name for Order of Illuminati is Bavarian Illuminati, which equates to 188, just like cyber attack. And again, what a day for this cyber attack on the Seattle airport in a very tech city. Again, in the U.S., the biggest tech cities are San Francisco, which is very Jesuit, and Seattle, which is very Jesuit. And again, the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. If you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language: alphabetic order in reverse, and both orders with numerology. So there are 4 values for the word cyber attack. We just said 188. Another one is 37. From the July 19th outages to this cyber attack was a span of 37 days. Another value of cyber attack is 71, just like Port of Seattle. And they said this cyber attack was on the Port of Seattle, which impacted, again, the port as well as the airport. Keep in mind the outage on the 19th of July. Seattle's the only city in America that equals 19, like the word chaos. Order out of chaos is the motto. Cyber attack, the other value, the only one we haven't covered, also equates to 109. Key digits 1 and 9, a lot like 19, but cyber attack also 109 like Saturday. This happened on a Saturday. Keep in mind military equates to 109 as well. And furthermore, with regards to Bill Gates, being connected to so many things, this happened exactly 43 weeks after his birthday. Airport equates to 43. He's 68 years old right now. As we know, Seattle, Washington equates to 68, like CIA. Remember, Seattle's so heavily connected to what happened on September 11, 2001, because the World Trade Center was designed by a Japanese American, like how there were kamikaze pilots that supposedly took down the towers. Again, the planes defied physics, the collapse of the towers defied physics, but we're just going with what supposedly happened. Again, those towers were designed by a Japanese American, and they were partially built by Magnus and Klemenkic Associates out of Seattle. Remember, Seattle, Washington equals 68, like terror, like how 1968 World Trade Center construction began, and 911 was made the National Emergency Dialing Code, and so on and so forth. Boeing out of Seattle debuted their jumbo jetliners. The founder of Boeing was a member of Yale Skull and Bones, like George W. Bush, who graduated from Skull and Bones in 68 and was the president at the time, and yada, yada, yada. Of course, 2001: A Space Odyssey came out in 68, a movie about technology overtaking man, and here we are talking about technology causing big problems by the numbers, like 9/11 was big problems by the numbers. But anyway, just to go back in time, the biggest cyber attack story in history when it happened was the WannaCry virus, which was also connected to Microsoft, and there's a lot to it. But remember, the savior, the guy who saved us, was Marcus Hutchins. And you see how his name is just like Wanna Decryptor? Again, that was part of the whole story if you want to go back and review everything. But look at his name, 177 and 201. Just like the Jesuit order equates to 177 and 201. Remember, it was the Jesuit Klaus Schwab, whose name equals 177, who was the main host of Event 201, the pandemic simulation, where Bill Gates was the co-host. But again, 201 relates to 129 because 129 is 201 in base 8 counting. And then 177 also has the mathematical relationship with 129. Again, there's different forms of mathematical counting, but we've made this point a million times with 129, 177, 201, the Jesuits. Remember, their first university is Georgetown, which equals 129. So, again, what are the odds? All this stuff just keeps lining up so perfectly. I mean, seriously, what are the odds? Slim to none? Practically zero? Which means it's not an accident? Which means it's unfolding ritual, which means we're being manipulated by a code, which has been the message here for over 11 years. And again, long before I figured this out, I knew something was up because 9/11 just couldn't have been any more obvious to me. The lie was obvious. The numerical ritual was too obvious. Buildings that look like an 11 in New York, the 11th state on the 11th day of the month when they got to tell you the first flight's AA11 and the buildings are 110 stories tall like 110, and then they can't find Osama. He's just hiding in too many caves until they get him in the year 2011. And the president's name just happens to be Obama. And he's just bombing all over the place. There's even a few more things here if you want to come read the post at GematriaEffectNews. That is my website where I post. And sometimes I do posts that don't make it to the videos because, you know, it's sad making these videos and watching how low the views are. Got to learn how to put that scary music in the background. Seems to be the missing ingredient. I always see these lame videos that got like 10 million views, zero content worth anything, but they got some scary music in the back. So maybe we'll start trying that out. Until next time, True.